Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Wherever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world we're in, this is another scene for Darkness in Dublin, the Mage venue. This evening, we actually set our scene away from the Green Dragon, in the apartment of Cassidy Lawson, also known as Muse. She has texted Damien and invited him to come visit her, as there's some ground rules that need to be laid out before visiting Merlin's Horizon Realm. So, I will let you describe how you arrive.
Uh, Damien, having gotten the information, the contact information, sees that he is at the appointed time and at appointed place 5 minutes early. He is modestly, if decently dressed, and he has got a small bag with something that seems to be bottle-like in it on under one arm, and under the other is slung his trusty leather satchel that has been with him a few times. And at this point, he presses the button so that she's notified.
Cassidy would come over, kind of interrupting her last little bit of meditation, and telling him to come on up.
Damien opens the door and goes up.
She would open the door for him. It's a very small studio apartment, just the one room and then a small bathroom with a little kitchenette off to the side.
Fair enough. Damien
There,
takes it
there,
in.
there is a distinct smell of incense.
Understood. Uh, Damien smiles and says, thanks for having me over. Oh, by the way, here, something for you. He hands the small bag that he had under his arm. If you open it, you'll find a very nice bottle of mead.
Oh. Uh, Thank you, but I don't drink, I'm afraid.
Ah, well, it was worth a try.
It was. I appreciate the offer, though. It's very sweet. Can I offer you a glass of tea?
Yes, please.
She would go over and get the kettle started while rummaging around in the cabinets. Do you have any preference for tea?
Um, I am quite fond of jasmine tea, I must say.
That I can do. She would pull down a couple of glass jars out of the cabinet. It's clear that these are pretty fresh dried herbs.
Damien thoroughly enjoys this cornucopia of smells and sights around him.
And as the kettle goes, she grabs two teacups and two little infusers, I suppose would be the appropriate word, and fills them with two different types of tea, handing the jasmine tea to him and taking a lemongrass and ginger tea for herself.
Ah, thank you.
So, I suppose now you've gotten to speak to my mentor, the Keeper. I should give you some of his rules before we go to his realm. As
Yes, please.
the last people that I took there didn't exactly stick to those rules.
I heard snippets here and there and heard that it went particularly bad, and that's the last thing I would want to do is leave a bad impression, especially someone so powerful, being so generous, basically.
Yes, it's not often someone other than a Verbena gets an invitation to his Horizon realm.
Let me guess, even more seldomly a disparate or orphan, as people like I are sometimes called.
Huh, I did not know you were a disparate. Hmm, interesting.
Not by choice, mind you.
Oh no, of course not. But always refer to him there as the Keeper. Do not call him Merlin. Do not ask about his past.
Understood. The keeper, and not I know what.
Also, no talk of deaths unless it is in direct reference to the cycle.
Understood. Yes, I should be able to do that.
That was the big rule that they broke.
Um, just sorry, personal curiosity. Rather try to get it out now than when I stand before the
Of
keeper
course.
himself. Might that taboo to talk about the ending of life have something to do with a focus on life?
That would be my guess. That
Oh,
and for people like myself and the Keeper, the cycle is sacred. It's something that shouldn't be interrupted.
I couldn't agree more.
But I digress. It should be interesting having someone else meet him.
Any other taboos I should know about? Less things in the spoken sense, but maybe, I don't know, symbols.
I think those are the only rules, and I'm trying to remember. I think that was it, though.
Okay. Uh, I was just asking since my. Ooh, yeah, that's one of the things. If you don't have somebody to teach you, you first actually have to find the right words so that people actually understand what you're trying to say. Ooh, that went down the wrong way. Pardon me. I'm just asking since, how should I say, the sphere that resonates most with me is entropy. I
Ah,
hope that won't be a problem.
oh no, it's fine. Entropy is all about fate.
That it is, and Prime, the source of everything, and life, well, the wild itself,
Life is
without,
my focus.
I would say that's yeah, entropy, life, Prime. Those are my fields.
I actually used it just the other night to help Minnie. She gave herself alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, maybe D'Onofrio should put at least a small amount, prices on the thing so that people might be dissuaded to, how should I say, latest buy 100, oh wait, no, euros. People might start thinking, yeah, I want to drown myself, but maybe I shouldn't be doing that in alcohol. Oh, sorry, that came out the wrong way. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's alright. I suppose the interesting thing is how often I go there despite not drinking.
A teetotalist in that case.
Yes, I don't consume alcohol.
Well, to be fair, it is a neurotoxin.
a neurotoxin, and I've seen what it can do to people. So,
Yeah. Ah, well, the problem is it has been a part of at least the Eurasian peoples for what was that, 9,000 years? The oldest residue of mead, for example, that we found in Europe. Sorry, yeah, that's the archaeologist in me.
oh, that's all right. I don't mind.
Yeah, but it
I
has been
don't mind other
around.
people partaking. I just don't partake myself.
Yeah, in, I guess the only reason why it is legal is because it's been around for so long. Heck, if alcohol were invented tomorrow as a new thing and we never would have known about it, it'd be an illegal substance, I can guarantee you that.
You're probably correct.
Yeah. So, is there anything you would like to ask me?
You said you're an archaeologist, yes?
Yes, currently on a how do you call it in English? Studienjahr. That would be a so to speak. I'm like on a year of leave where I can do pretty much whatever I want, to recuperate a bit from everything. I was a research assistant
Oh,
uh, for a professor, actually. The same one who was feeding me esoteric knowledge, as it turned out later. Sly bastard.
it
Mind you, always,
happens.
yeah, mind you, always couching it in theoretical language.
Sounds about right.
And he had, I would say, about 2 months ago, I would have said he had an almost supernatural knack for finding old Mithraic temples, or heck, even the last place we were together. It must have been either a burial or a ritual site of some sort from the Bronze Age, definitely.
Oh,
And yeah, um, yeah, and then at that point you see Damien sort of trailing off a bit in thought. Some sort of memory is troubling him.
are you alright?
It's okay. Just when I think about the night it happened, uh, it I won't lie. Uh, the night I awoke was also the night that my scholarly mentor, Professor Braunschweiger, got killed by some sort of monstrosity. Uh, if, and it went for me as well. And actually, come to think of it, if I don't give you any context, you won't even have the foggiest idea where or when that happened. Sorry.
It,
Um,
it's quite alright. My awakening wasn't pleasant either, so.
I hope you didn't get chased by any werewolf-like creatures, though.
Oh, heavens, no.
At least well, I say like because from its general stature and size and the shaggy coat and its bipedal form of motion, it looked like a textbook description of a werewolf, but the face, those eyes, the nose, like a bat's, the fangs all crooked, the eyes pure white, filled with sorry.
It's quite alright.
I guess I'm still a bit, haven't properly worked through that one. But that evil cackle, and it was speaking some language I couldn't understand, or well, I probably didn't need to understand. It was just spewing some sort of malice from its mouth. cackling with joy as I was trying to frantically get away from it. Away, away. And then I tapped something cold, something rock-like. Energy surged through me. And then the next memory I have is waking up in a forest 10 miles away. No monster in sight. And, well, looking back at it now, I must have been teleported or something. But yeah, I managed to get to a village, get the police. But when we were there, we found Professor Braunschweiger with a broken neck down a mountainside, well, not full river, um, a uh, a brook of some sort, and the cave that we had found, the objects, the pictographs, the petroglyphs that I'd seen just a few minutes before that monster attacked me, everything gone. I couldn't explain it to myself. It's as if somebody had cleared away all the bones, all the Bronze Age artifacts, and had just, especially those paintings, those wall paintings. I got at least halfway a good look before I was teleported away, but they were gone as well. I don't know what monstrosity, or if we had maybe by accident, I don't know, maybe it was one of their burial chambers, but sorry, I'm rambling. The only thing that really confuses me is everything was gone except the two items that I had pocketed at the point before. And yeah, and Damien actually produces the Bronze Age axe you might have seen another time. This head here is actually the very bronze axe head that I pocketed. Turns out it works really good as a prime focus.
Well, that's good at the very least.
Yeah, but to cut a long story short, the authorities had decided that we had obviously opened some cave that had bad air. We might have breathed in the spores, which, according to them, had caused the delusions that I was talking about. And they guessed that I'd run off somewhere while the professor in delirium had fallen down the brook and broke his neck, but I don't buy it. I know what I saw. I know why. I have proof. And also produces a piece of amber around his neck. This, my life focus, that was also there, and he turns it around, and it has a face engraved. Very basic, very almost tribal in a way.
Hmm.
Those things, I took them in before everything happened. So at least I had something to prove to myself that I hadn't just gone mad for a bit. But yeah. Oh, and that hard thing, I also have a vague memory, actually, thanks to my Fulgia, beg your pardon, avatar is the word you guys use. Um, actually helped me remember that I tapped on a big blue stone that had very weird properties. But when I went to look for that one, it had gone as well. And that's why I'm actually here in Dublin. I've been following the trail, or at least trying to follow the trail of one of those stones. Ended up with the Triads, a certain gentleman called Nine Finger Tam. But I've lost the scent, in a manner of speaking. At the very least, I thought if, yeah. By the way, the professor had uh, bequeathed to me some of his monies and also a small notebooklet where we basically had explanations for at least some of the basics of magic. Not all of them. I really had to figure out a few things. But yeah, that's why I'm here. The trail has gone cold. I would like to say that I could at least find out more about the stones, maybe figure out what he might have been involved with, but other things happened, and I discovered that there were other people like me around, so I thought I'd stick around and try and figure out more.
Well, welcome to the wild world of magic.
Yeah. At first, I wanted to rationalize everything, and to a certain extent, I would say my worldview still makes sense, but even if I continue looking at the way I do the world, I've got the feeling that it's an unbalanced view. Logic alone is not healthy. There also needs to be some empathy or emotion to it, I would guess. At least that's what my avatar's been uh, trying to gently nudge me towards to. Maybe try and get in touch with my, for the lack of a better word, spiritual side.
Well, that's certainly something I could help with.
So, yeah, I thought maybe asking around if people were willing to have a chat and get different views on the cosmos I find myself in. This very vast cosmos might help me figure out a few things.
Well, I certainly can help with any spiritual aspects that you might want help with.
That's generous, and what would you want in exchange so that the balance is kept, in a manner of speaking?
No need. It's fine.
Uh, may I ask you something? It might be a little personal. I'm not sure how personal people take that one.
Go ahead.
Have you got a feeling that there is a prescribed purpose for your existence, or would you say that you're more smithing your own?
I think that maybe eventually I'll see a clear purpose, but for now I'm making my own way.
Good, thank you.
Anyway,
I've heard once the word ascension bounded about, but things were so crazy I didn't get a chance to ask anyone. I only know the word from its dictionary definition: to ascend, to elevate, to go somewhere higher, but seldom things seem to be so simple for us. And I've got the feeling that it's probably not just the ability to levitate or something like that.
give me just a second. Sorry, other kiddo decided to come into the house and start asking
No,
questions.
no problem. No problem.
So, ascension is the transition of our soul from this mortal plane to the supernal realms. It's rumored that only the most dedicated and powerful mages ever reach ascension.
Hmm. Ascending to a higher state of being, most likely. Huh. Interesting. Damien takes another few gulps from his delicious jasmine tea, puts them down, and looks at her, asking, a question that has been bouncing around my head for a bit, and I wonder what your thoughts are on it. Mike, what I've seen around is people, although awakened to magehood, yeah, some of them seem to have a very laissez-faire attitude with reality, or at the very least with certain cycles. I remember in my very first evening after the auction, uh, hearing a few mages say that they weren't particularly concerned about reality and that they love making reality their bitch. Yeah, that
Somehow that
shocked me a
doesn't
little bit.
surprise me.
I mean, I can't be the only person to think that if we are handed this potential and these powers, that we can't just wave them about willy-nilly. I mean, we probably have responsibilities to do something with them. At least that's my feeling.
Oh, trust me, the ones who wave their abilities about are seldom the ones you want to listen to.
Yeah. As cliched as it sounds, with great power does come great responsibility.
Now there's a quote I actually understood.
Yeah. And I only recently discovered that the mage known as Kit has apparently a demon in her. That 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 surprised me.
Mm, Kit, yes.
And pretty much everyone else, well, apart from Master Wilhelm Grimm, seemed very nonchalant about that, and that's causing me all kinds of confusion.
Well, unfortunately, demons are a thing that happens. But, anywho, do you have any other questions?
Um, Damien quickly scratches his beard, quickly trying to think if there was anything else left to ask. Yes, one thing. I remember there was an instant, I think you were there as well, where we were sort of teleported to a graveyard, but we went through some. I only had like a split second to look around, but it seemed to be some form of darkness. If I would have to guess, we probably walk through some parallel dimension or something. Um,
I don't
and
think
I
I was
heard the
there,
word.
actually.
Huh?
I don't think I was there, actually.
Uh, I only know that the word umbra fell, and as far as I know, that's Latin for shadow. Have you ever
The
heard
Umbra.
of that one?
Yes, I've heard of the Umbra. Not something I enjoy dealing with.
Um, it seemed like some sort of Shadowlands. Sorry that I'm using fantasy role playing terms here, but I couldn't think of another analogy.
Oh, I suppose that would be an appropriate name.
Uh huh. Is it a place in between places, or is it a full blown place like our dimension? You know, Midgard, Material Earth.
She would smile a bit as he says Midgard. Someone else who believes. Or maybe not.
Oh, I believe very much in the concept that they're more than just our worlds. Just seeing somebody coming back from the land of the dead or hell itself with a leaden coin of a ferryman, none less. Um, oh yeah, I believe that place is real, and that there might be other realms out there, maybe even 9. Wouldn't be surprised. The number 9 seems to be cropping up very regularly when it comes to us mages.
But yes, you have several levels of the Umbra. I can assume what you experienced was low Umbra or dark Umbra, the underworld.
At that point, Damien whips out his notebook and is starting noting things down. Please continue.
There's also the middle Umbra or the spirit wilds.
Spirit Wilds. Huh, if that might be the place where the Kami reside? Sorry, I'm hypothesizing again.
And then you have the astral reaches or the high Umbra.
Hmm.
Between our material world, Midgard, and those and the Umbras is the gauntlet.
The Gauntlet, okay.
Think of it as a metaphysical membrane that separates the world, our material plane, and the Umbras.
Yeah, that actually makes perfect sense. You would have a mechanism to at least regulate pure ephemeral spirits not to constantly enter into the physical realm. How then ever? Never mind. Okay. Fascinating. Yeah, very good. Interesting. And let me guess, there are probably some areas or at least times of the year where the gauntlet or the walls of the gauntlet might grow thinner. I remember in Celtic mythology, oh, what was it called again? Uh, Big Celtic festival towards the end of the year where they
Shallot.
said, that's it, exactly. The Norse equivalent for that was the Alpha Blot. Yeah, the time of the ancestors.
Yes.
That would also explain why there are so many tales about specters, spirits, ghosts, and similar around that time. Okay, things are starting to make sense. Thank you very much.
Not a problem.
Yeah. I feel like I've asked enough questions, so if you want, I'll go. I know mm, I'm not the best with social situations, as you have seen.
That's quite all right. Come, I will walk you out.
Thank you.
Of course, feel free to finish your tea first.
Yeah, why the hurry? No time like the present. And he takes like 3 sips before finishing it. Mm, very good, Jasmine.
I'll get you some.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'll be able to. Would you have use for amber by any chance?
Hmm.
I could get it raw or in a worked form if you want.
Oh, raw would be the best. She points over at a small shelf that is just absolutely covered in different kinds of crystals and whatnots.
Yeah, good. No, let's do it that way. You organize some of that kick-ass jasmine for me, and I'll organize you some raw, original Baltic amber. I've got an old study mate of mine who lives up there. He surely can make sure that he can send me some good pieces.
Well then, I suppose it's a deal.
Deal. And he offers a hand.
She would extend her hand and shake it.
Yeah. Well, time for me to go. Places to see, things to do, things to prepare. And
Indeed.
I think I'll treat myself to a hot bath. Just try to get all this nervousness out of my body.
We do need to prepare for this excursion. Sorry. To prepare for
Yeah,
this excursion to. Seriously, Kieran! Chill out! Yes, we do have some preparations to do for this excursion to Syria we're going on.
yeah, yeah. Sounds as if I have to hit up my criminal contact again. Oh gods, I wish I didn't have to. But he could maybe organize some bulletproof vests or something.
That would be much appreciated.
I'll see what I can do. No promises, but I'll see what I can do.
But yeah, at that point, she would walk him down the steps and on out.
He leaves, uh, gives her a short bow, and thus he exits into the streets of Dublin to be lost in the crowd after a while.
And with that, I think we can end our scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene for Darkness in Dublin. See you next time!